As I'm closing it, oh girl is doing extras right next to me. And I'm like, oh.
So you heard it cracking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gentlemenclubdiary.
Yo, it is your boy Invincible, and I don't even know what damn camera I need to be looking at. I'm assuming this one. But you are tuned into a new episode of the Gentleman Club Diary. Make sure to hit that subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to comment. A lot of this material that we've been shooting is not getting monetized. So whatever you can contribute, we definitely appreciate it. And with that in mind, shoot, we got a dope guest. She is a super supporter of the channel, and she goes by the name You Crave
Audi.
Audi. I keep saying Audi, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Audi, my bad. You
Yeah.
Crave Audi.
I spell it that way, but I pronounce it like, because it's cuter.
You Crave Audi.
Yeah.
Okay, You Crave Audi. And so my understanding, You Crave Audi, is that you would be considered a baby stripper.
Yes.
Yes. And so what is it like being a baby stripper?
Well, I feel like it has its, every job has its pros and its cons, but like jumping in how I did, it was like a little like, ooh, like, whoa, but so far it's been pretty good. I don't really have like too many negatives. I think it's just like a lot of new experiences for me because I was like fresh hopping into it.
And you were talking off camera. We were talking about something with. I think you were saying you were doing like coffee shops or something like
Yeah,
that.
so before I started really stripping, I was doing the coffee shops in Anaheim, stuff like that, and those were like kind of the same thing, but we just didn't have a stage, and it was more intimate than in a club. It's more like, like a different vibe. Yeah.
So, I want to know what every baby stripper, a stripper trying to get into this, what should they know before they get into this?
Okay, it's not what TikTok portrays, like whatsoever, and I feel like there's no love in the club in general, and I feel like a lot of like girls go in like me. I kind of never I never was the type to like have a lot of girlfriends, and like it's like high school. That's what I would say. Hopping into it, I was just like thinking like, okay, maybe I'll get some friends, maybe I won't, but there's no love in the club. And I just think like a lot of girls think like, oh, the money, that's all they see is the money counts, like, oh, count my money with me, when it's not that whatsoever. Like, yeah, the money is a plus, but there's just so much other things that girls don't realize.
So what does TikTok portray?
I feel like TikTok just portrays the good. They don't really like, there is some girls on there that talk about like, oh, be aware of this, be aware of the girls, but really like they don't talk about the men. I feel like, like I feel like the men and like how like you're looked at as a dancer isn't talked about whatsoever.
So do the men look at you guys a certain way in the club, or are you talking about outside of the club?
Both,
Both?
because the men like for it's not every like every girl is different obviously, but I feel like some girls are more innocent than others, so when they go in thinking like, oh, like me and you're having a regular conversation, you're not gonna get that with a customer coming in all the time. There are those customers that are like, oh, like, hi, nice to meet you, but there's others like are smacking on you, like touching up on you right away, so
Yeah, you mentioning that. So this was very troubling. Like for me, it was hard to understand the men smacking the girls' butt cheeks. Like when I first started, that was happening nonstop.
Yeah.
And it would kind of anger me because I'm like, damn, like every girl's getting their, you just hear the smacks.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, it's almost disrespectfully them getting smacked. And I didn't know how to understand that. And I'm pretty sure you are now dealing with maybe that and dealing with other things that you may not have been aware of. So what are
Yeah.
some things that you weren't aware of, and now that you have been stripping, now these things are coming to light? What are some of those
I
things?
feel like obviously, so like the private dances, you know what happens in a private dance, you know what I mean? So like regardless, whatever you're doing, extras or not, you're going in, a guy's, he's fantasizing over you. And I feel like at first it was just like, oh, well, I'm gonna do that dance and I'm up 20 or I'm up some, that's kind of how I thought about it. And it's like, okay, well, they're gonna be touching up on you. And for me, like, I'm just like, okay, when is the time done, you know? But for other girls, like a couple, like even the new girls that come to my club, I'm kind of like, they're like, oh, like I see them like, and it just like the stories they tell me, they're like really like insecure, or just like, you know, they don't want men touching on it. I feel like, come on, like you're in the club, that's gonna happen. You can't, you know, just because you're like icked out with them, they're paying for that. So that's kind of, you know what I mean?
So you being a dancer, has it ever been weird? Like you go into a, because it's not. You know what? A DJ told me this. He said this is not normal. Like this life, it's not normal, right? So a man touch, and think about it. You're pretty young,
Yeah.
so you have guys that might be in their 40s and 50s and 60s.
You know what? Personally, I prefer the older men than
Why?
the younger, because they have more respect. Not always. That's not always
Uh-huh.
the case. Not, you know, there could be a young guy which won't even touch me, you know? But I just feel like, I mean, they're not obligated to ask me, "Can I smack your ass?" But when they do, I'm like, "Oh, like, you know, yeah, like go ahead, you know, but thank you for asking me, you know?"
Do you charge them when they do that?
No.
See?
Well, if they want to like rub up on me a little bit more, yes, I will, you know?
See, if they
But
each smack, you got to get $1.
yeah.
You got to get $1 each smack.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
But some guy, and then like with the older men, not like I said, not always the case, but the older men too. Like I've had them, I'll go in for one song for 20, and I'll see him pull out a lot of ones, and I'm like, okay, respect to you because you know what's up, you know, like. Other guys, they won't. I mean, it's not mandatory, but I just, you know, it's a little bit of like, oh, like I appreciate you, you know.
so older men are your cup of tea. Only,
That,
but that's
not
not in
always.
real life. That's in the strip.
Oh yeah, yeah, not always, but I've had young guys too. But I just feel like the young guys are just like, some are cool though. I've met like throughout my experiences, both of the cafes, and the strip club. I've met like really cool people. I would say like, damn, like in my head, I think of it like, damn, like I would hang out with you in real life, but I'm like, I can't, because you know what I
Yeah, because they're
mean.
customers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're also talking about the vibe, and the vibe in the club. You're talking about music, how music
Yeah.
has a big influence. And so, can you explain like kind of the vibe in the club, and we can kind of go off of that. So,
In my club or just like in general?
just in the clubs you worked at.
Okay, so I definitely feel like the music it matters, you know, whether it's a girl on stage or just like you talking with the customer and they're hearing the music, you know. Like when I was personally, I prefer gentlemen clubs, you know, and the club that I'm currently at, it's listed as a gentleman's club, but really it's not, because we play rap music, you know. The first club that I ever started off at, it was a gentleman's club, and we would play like rock or TikTok music, is like, you know, like just softer music. And the men who came in were definitely like, you're not gonna see, sometimes you would see it, but like a 20-year-old walking into a gentleman's club like that playing rock music, they're gonna be like, what is this, you know, and they're not gonna want to stay. So the crowd was definitely different compared to like an urban.
So, are you saying the clubs that play rap music? You're saying there's a big difference with money?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
definitely.
Like,
Just because like I feel like the young guys don't spend, but even like just the older men, they know, like I said, more respect, but they know like, okay, I'm gonna sit. I don't know, I just feel like it's a more mellow vibe, you know, like everybody's happy.
yeah.
And I mean, rap music is cool because it's like, okay, I want to throw some ones, like let me make it rain. But sometimes it's like I feel like the music kind of gets to the heads. Like, I mean, you're gonna get like dissed all the time as a stripper, but I feel like some music just really gets to the younger boys. Like, oh, I don't want you, you know. And the song might be talking about, oh, stripper, bitch, you know, or you know.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, oh, okay.
So my experience based. So look at Fully Nudes. I'm not sure as far as music wise, like because I don't really go to Fully Nudes. But me working at a topless bar, um, really you had people in there that played rap music that they wanted to spin. So and you will see you'll be in sections in the club, and there's gonna be guys that spend money, and you just never know. Like there, as far as what money looks like, you just don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely. You don't yeah, don't
Yeah.
judge a book by its cover for sure. Yeah.
You have no clue. So yeah, but at the Fully Nudes, I can imagine what it's like there, or what kind of people.
And you know, like since we are 18 plus, we do get a lot of younger guys like, oh, I fresh 18, I wanted to come.
Do they?
But because we're open till 5 a.m., that's kind of when the shift
Dang.
changed too. Like, we won't be busy until 2 a.m. because all the bars are closed. So everybody already has been drinking a little bit, and they're like, all right, let's hit after hours.
So what happens
So-
at 3 and 4 a.m.
It's like sometimes we'll like literally at 4 a.m. a whole bunch of people will come, and it's weird because you're like, well, what the hell, you guys? You know what I mean? But everybody's lit and they want to spend because nowhere else is opened.
So what do? They just go in there to get dances?
Yeah, both stage money and dances. Cause sometimes, but then we have like days where all of our couches will be filled and nobody's spending money. They're just being looky loos. So
Yeah.
it just really depends.
So I'm wondering about like, cause you work at a lot of fully nude clubs. They get, I don't know if they get a bad rap, but they say that they give it up. That a lot of dancers give it up. They give extras.
Well, I feel like no matter where you, well, just my experience, no matter where you go, there's going to be extras, obviously. No matter where. You could be at the cafes, there's everywhere, you know? But I do, I wouldn't really say like, oh, yeah, I do think 18 plus definitely, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it really depends on the club. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with 1GC. That's all of the clubs that are linked together. Like, I'll name a few, like Deja Vu, Spearmint Rhino,
yeah.
that are linked. And those have strict management. Now, the clubs that aren't, there's only a very few that are still open, like that have house fee or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're ran by, they're not combined with those ones, you know what I mean? So the management is a little less, like, they're more lenient. But even in the 1GC, they're, you know, extras are everywhere.
So you working at a fully nude, now have you witnessed other girls giving extras?
Oh yeah, like my club that I'm currently at, it's definitely extras, you know.
That's
And
extra.
I'm not one to judge, you know. Everybody has a price, but I just feel like if you are gonna give it up, then give it up for some money, you know. So.
God damn. All right. So when you first heard, because I'm gonna be real, so I'm aware of, you know, at some of the clubs you mentioned.
Yeah.
So when you first heard them giving, I mean, were you aware that the extras happen in the club?
Okay, yes. So my first day tripping. Well, see at the cafes, it kind of honestly, the cafes not really, kind of, but not the girls. You're to yourself. You're not in a dressing room. You know, our dressing room was like at one of them was a restroom. So we just put our stuff out like in the restroom and we go to the floor. And you're very intimate, like how me and you. That's how it is. No loud music. Like it's a little music, but not compared to like the clubs, you know. So it's more intimate. But at those ones, honestly, the men, I don't know if it's because they knew, but some girls I know would, but it really wasn't offered as much as the clubs. You know, I go in my first day. I went in. The manager. He was like, you know, if you're gonna give it up, you know, they were very blunt.
Or he let you know, like,
yeah, he let me
cool
know.
to give it up.
Yeah, he did let me know. And then like, my first day I was kind of shocked because I was doing my first dance, VIP, $80 VIP, and so at the club I was at, $20 dance, you could not have the curtain closed. Now, if it was a VIP for $80, you could. So, I was giving the dance after I was gonna start, right? And then I went to close the curtain, and I kind of forgot that they had told me you can't close it unless you know. So I'm like, oh shoot, you know. So I went to close it, and they're like, no, and I'm like, I looked at my customer, I'm like, pay up, you know. And then he was like, I got a cool one, thank God, my first dance, you know. And he's like, all right, I got you. So we ended up closing it. Well, as I'm closing it, next door to me, like, because you know the VIPs are very like, they're
right
rows.
next to each other.
Yeah. As I'm closing it, girl is doing extras right next to me, and I'm like, oh.
So you heard it cracking.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you know, like I said, I knew what I was kind of walking into, but I think it's more of like, it was surreal, like, oh shoot,
like,
you
this
know?
really happened.
So it kind of, and that's another thing, like, honestly, like, since it's right next door to you, you're kind of pressured. Like, some girls, you know, me personally, I feel like not even that I have morals, but I'm like, I have boundaries for myself, you know. So I didn't really feel like, I'm like, oh, whatever, you know. But for the customer, that like changes stuff for sure. Like, he's like, what's going on? And like, I'm like, just sit down and be quiet, you know. I kind of just like, I had to be a little pushy with him, but he was cool. It was his first dance ever, you know. But like, now I'm like, recent club, when they like, guys, they know what's up. And if they like, for my experience so far, like, some guys are like, all right, well, are you gonna give me some or not? And I'm like, no.
Oh, they tell you that?
Yeah, like, they're very like blunt with it, you know.
So you do not give extras?
Yeah, No.
No? Okay, but you've been asked to give extras?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the time? Yeah, that was common. Where what was common in the club I was working at, this was like an everyday thing, and this happened a lot, especially in the day shift. Was customers will either whip it out or they
Oh,
will tell the girls like how much, and then the dancers would come
I've
complain
heard
to me.
that a lot, like of them whipping it out. But personally, nobody's ever done that to
Nobody's
me.
ever done that.
No, or if they like maybe have asked, but I'm like no, but not really. To be honest, I really haven't like my experiences with the lap dances. I haven't really had too many bad ones.
Too many bad ones.
Yeah.
Well, I do realize that you dancers, you guys have a particular way of doing things to get a customer off without actually doing anything. So I'm pretty sure you probably learn the ropes
Yeah.
of certain things because I've seen
At
things.
first, too, like since I don't do extras, like I said, I don't judge. I'm not one to judge, but
Uh-huh.
like if you're gonna sell it for some dough,
Yeah.
And personally, at the club I'm at, they're like, it's kind of hard for me because like I don't do extras, and they're selling it for like really low, and it's just like whoa, like, and you would think, well, at least I thought, they'll choose a prettier face over like an older girl, not no shade, but older,
Older
me.
dancer, yeah.
Yeah, so and I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. They're like, if you're less expensive, I'm going with you. And that's the thing. I'm like, damn, So I've taken my L sometimes where I don't make no money, but then it's when I have my days where I'm like, okay, no extra still, and I'm doing really good, compared
Yeah.
to the other girls.
So dang, they bargain in the strip, so they're willing and dealing on the lowest price.
Yeah, so a regular at my club, our VIPs right now, they are 150. So obviously the strippers know you don't make all of that. You only make $75. Well, a lot of how it works is the girls, they'll have their like, okay, I charge you pay for the room and on top of that, but you would think they would ask for a tip. No, these girls are not. Because I've asked my customers that I've gotten dances with, I'm like, so how was it? Like, how was your experience? I'm nosy, So, and they were like, yeah, I only paid 150. And I'm like, 150? No tip, no nothing. They're like, yeah, just 150. And that just tells me, like, they're doing that for $75.
So they gave it up for 75
Yeah.
bucks? Dang.
And I'm just like, I can't compete with that,
Yeah, that's
So,
pretty bad if you're giving it up for 75. Is
Yeah,
that
not
hard
at
out?
all, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
Dang,
now I'm
that's
just
dang,
like,
it's hard. It's that hard out here, huh? For 75 bucks.
yeah.
Dang. So I want to get into some 304 talk.
Yeah,
Just
definitely,
because a friend of mine was asking like why are there girls still out like on the host row, right? On the blade. Why are they still on the blade?
Mm-hmm.
If there's like you got digital apps and you have
Personally, I think, and just in the dressing room last weekend, I was having a talk with a couple of the girls. Like a girl, she was like, I'm a half, 304. Yeah, I'm a halfway 304. And because I'm scared, I won't ever stomp down. And I'm like, like I think it's kind of, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny that she said that because like really, you're paying our manager. You're paying. So that's
Oh,
your
he's
pimp.
paying the manager to do. Oh,
No,
so the
like
manager's a pimp.
No, well, how I look at it, like she was
Yeah.
saying, like, oh, I would never stomp down like on the blade, I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
never do that. I'm just a halfway 304 because she's in the club,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't agree with that though, because if you really think about it, why wouldn't you go stomp down and you get everything versus you're paying the manager half, so he's your pimp, even though you don't really have a pimp realistically, but it's like
So I was a pimp in the club.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I'm just like, oh, girl. I'm like, I don't agree with that, but
Yeah.
I just feel like, I mean, obviously, there's way more. The club is way safer than going on the blade, obviously. But I just think like, if you're not like if you have a little bit of risk in you, why not get your full, like, if you're giving it up, why not get, if you're not, the girls in the club, $75 is crazy, so if you're gonna give it up and you don't mind going down, touching down, go for it.
So but why do you think they're on the stroll? Like that's, to me, that's dangerous.
Like I said, it's the club is way safer, but like for my club person, they're not getting their full potential they could versus if they were,
on the street.
Yeah, but I mean, I have a lot of friends like doing this. I have a bunch of friends that are on the blade actually.
So you never tell them like, yo, you got apps and shit that you can go on. You got
Yeah,
OnlyFans. Why aren't you doing OnlyFans? Why aren't you doing like? There's more. You got to broaden your perspective, like on. I mean, look, we got to be. I think what's being lost right now is creativity. Like, there's a lot of people lacking creativity, especially in the strip club, because it's like or even on the host show. Like if you're on the host show, like go like the pimps should be setting up the OnlyFans, or there's more ways to
Well,
do
okay,
things.
so you're considered, if you don't have a pimp, you're considered a renegade. That's, that's what you're considered. But I mean, the girls who are on the Blade, majority of them, honestly, they do have pimps, so it's a little different. They're not gonna, unfortunately, it is sad, their pimp's not gonna put them in the club, so that's like canceled out for them, but like a few of my friends who don't have pimps, they just don't see a point in going to the club when the club's gonna take half, when they could get their full amount, like I have some girls, they're still considered 304s, but they don't touch down on the Blade. They just do the apps, like you said.
Oh, so they are on.
Yeah,
apps.
they're in a hotel and they'll just do like mega personal or whatever.
Okay,
yeah.
they don't really go out there.
Yeah.
So what led you to this lifestyle? Like, I mean,
well, I was I was one of the girls who was influenced by like TikTok. I wouldn't say like mainly, because I kind of always knew I wanted to be in the industry. Just I never would have thought stripper. I always wanted to be a bottle girl, but my age was definitely like, damn, can I wait that long?
Yeah.
So then that was 2021. So that's when all the TikToks kind of started coming around then, and I'm like, dang, like maybe I should go be a waitress. And then I never really knew that the 18 plus clubs had waitresses. I didn't know that. I thought it was you had to be 21. So then I went around and I'm like, okay, let me try it out, and that's kind of what led me into stripping.
Yes. You were saying something about YouTube too, though.
Oh yeah, like I would watch a lot of vlogs, like get ready with me.
Stripper vlogs.
Definitely.
So YouTube was a big.
Yeah, but I was like I said, I wasn't comfortable yet, like really hopping into it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for waitress. Next best thing.
So you never thought, like, some people be like, strippers are dirty. So you ever
No.
felt ashamed or anything for dancing?
Oh yeah, there's I'm not gonna say shame, but obviously there's a big stigma on stripping. And especially like me, I don't really get along with my family like that. But I would say like my dad's side is the side, like I grew up with my dad's side and my mom, but we were always split, So my dad's side, they're more like, they kind of know what's up, My mom's like holy. That's the best way to describe it, So I definitely was like, well, I never really have cared what anybody thinks about me. I'm gonna do what I want regardless, But it definitely was like, damn, like just friends, they're like, you're trying to do that, So it would make me feel like, damn. But then I'm like, I'm getting money, so I wouldn't really care.
You wouldn't really care.
Yeah.
Now, mentorship. Did you have mentors growing up? Was your dad a good mentor? Or?
So no, my dad has. So my grandma was. I live with my grandma currently still, but my mom and my dad were not in the picture at all. My dad wasn't. My mom halfway, but me and her, we were like really rocky. It never was like we went together, It was my grandma who I would more say call mom, And I think like me and my mom's relationship, that's where like she would kind of get her feelings hurt,
Do you feel like if your parents were more there for you, you might have chose a different...
Actually, that's funny that you asked that, because I was kind of like talking with my aunt. Me and my aunt, like my aunt's my best friend.
Yeah, what was she talking about?
My aunt. So I do no, because so for me it was, so like I said, I started at 17 as a waitress. So I was I had my own car already. I was sneaking off in the night because my grandma, she wasn't like, if I would have lived with my mom would have probably been on it, Like she was more strict, but my grandma was like, she goes to bed at 9. So that was, I'm out the door, So I would work from like 9 p.m. to 5, So I would come back at like 7 in the morning. She's not up till 8, But I do think like if my grandma was on me a little bit more, maybe I wouldn't have, but then I really can't say that because I kind of always knew what I wanted to do. So it's like, I think, I don't think I would have been in the club at 17 if I, yeah. But I think I would have always tried to become one.
Become one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to know, what is your real opinion on men paying for kitty?
I don't judge. Like, I know men, every guy has their needs, I don't judge whatsoever. But I do think it's kind of messed up when majority of the clientele that come into the club, whether there's a difference between like some guys, they'll just come to support, like they're once and they're out, like, I just want to have a good time, which is, cool. But majority, you only see that a little bit, majority of our clientele is married men who have girlfriends, So, and I feel like that's kind of, like, I don't judge, but I'm just like, damn, like, what's your wife not doing? Like,
So what's your wife not doing? So do you ever
yeah.
feel bad? Like, dang, I'm
I
actually.
definitely feel bad.
Do you feel bad for the girl, or do you feel bad like that you're doing
I mean,
something?
I always, honestly, like I said, I'm nosy. I'm a nosy one. And so, honestly, I will, like, some guys, they come to me for advice. Some guys don't even want to dance. They just want to talk. But they'll still be generous enough to throw stage money. Like, just last weekend, I actually had a guy, he was with his high school sweetheart for a long time, and he had found out that she was cheating on him. So, and I asked him, like, so you thought to come to the club? Like, my kind of, like, first instinct was like, well, why did you think, like, well, let me go to the club? That's a little weird, you know what I mean? But I'm like, oh, okay, like, whatever. And he's like, like, I don't know what I should do. But, so I was just giving him my advice to him. But I'm just like, damn, like, that's crazy,
Yeah.
But that was one of a few, like, of the girl cheating. Normally it's the men, And I just think, like, damn, if you have it all good at home, why are you coming here, But not everything is all hearts and kisses. So I know people have problems, but I think it's just life. So I don't judge. Yeah,
you don't judge. Okay, so now you're at a young age, and now you're making a bunch of money, right? Or maybe you're not making a bunch of money. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know some strippers can make, I don't know, what's an average you would think strippers make on a day?
Recently, it's been pretty slow for me. But honestly, like I said, when I jumped into it, I would say a band or at least 600
on a day.
Oh, a day. Oh, okay. So 500 a day.
Okay, so right now she's making $20 a day, but on a good day she makes 500.
Well, okay. My slowest night would be $200 a night.
Okay, okay.
But really, I try and aim for like $5 a night.
Okay, yeah. So I realize strippers do make bad decisions because I work with so many of them. Yeah, they do. But so now that you're coming across a bunch of money, do you like? What do you kind of? Not that I'm trying to be up in your business, but I want to know, like, what do you like? Do you have plans for like investments? What's kind of your goal?
So I think when I started waitressing at 17, that's when I made all my bad decisions. I was like, okay, I was touching, even as a waitress, I was going home with $800 a night just in tips, and I would get like $4 an hour hourly, But that little hourly added up, at the end of the week. But I think then I was like, let me go buy a new MCM bag. Let me go buy, I was doing my bad decisions. But now that I just started in April, I'm like, I have goals. Like, I'm trying to get a new car, and I have my own business on the side too. So I don't just strip. I do body waxing.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I did see something like that. So you're actually. Yeah, so you have a page for that, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
yes,
I did see something like that.
And it kind of like falls into the industry too, because the girls, they get waxes. So it's been working out pretty good for me.
So you kind of just...
Yeah, I kind of have like a few things. I mainly just do waxing, but I also do like flowers on the side as well.
Oh, dang. So you kind of got a little entrepreneur up in you.
Yeah, but just within my family too, we have a family business. So that's why like my job, it comes in clutch because... we'll take long trips. Like, we'll go to Sacramento or we'll go to Arizona. We do all the country festivals.
Oh, yeah.
So we sell cowboy hats. I don't know if you're familiar with Stagecoach. It happens after Coachella. Yeah, so we did that one. So, like, when I'm not stripping, I'm doing that. I'm helping my grandma.
Oh, are you? Damn. Yeah. Well, shout out to your grandma. Because I love my grandma. I love my grandma. So, shout out to all the grandmas out there that are raising
what's funny?
Their grandchildren.
I actually just, like... told her not too long. Well, like when I started at my new club, I kind of told her. She kind of always kind of knew a little bit, But I like finally was open with her, and I'm like, I'm doing this,
Was she cool with it?
Honestly, yeah, she's always been. She'll never not support me, But she's more so like, she's old school. She's not really like 2024, like with all social media,
Yeah.
So and that's another thing. Like a lot of my family, like they kind of were old school with it. Like like they're not hip to what's really going on nowadays. Like with the blade, it's always been around, but not how it is like on Instagram now. You have girls who have, you know what I mean. But her ideas of it is just like just be safe. She more so thinks like there's creeps, they're gonna follow you, but I'm like, I have my bouncers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. See, like I think social media has made like I'm seeing the 304 stuff. Like that's kind of it's like a popular thing now. Like it's crazy. Right, and I think I need another drink. Can I get another drink? No, but I think the 304 stuff like that was. I mean, it still looked like down upon, but I mean, it's it's all good. It's. I mean, people. I think it's more survival. You know what I mean? People are doing.
I don't know that, that's another controversial topic, the 304. I think, and that's the same thing with stripping. Look at me, how TikTok did influence me, and I think girls should not whatsoever get influenced for 304. And I feel like that's kind of the main thing right now, besides stripping. Like girls are just minors are hopping into the 304, and I'm like, I don't, and I think it's, like every girl, you're gonna do what you want, but I just think, like, why are we making it like Instagram? I feel like, I mean, it's cool if you want to flaunt it, but just some stuff I feel like should be kept,
So you don't think that because of maybe your upbringing, that your actual influence was from TikTok and YouTube, so it didn't have nothing to do with your upbringing. It was based on see, I was under the impression that maybe girls get into this at a young age because it's like a survival thing, or they don't really know like what to do in life.
No, that definitely was a part of why I kind of did it, because, like I said, me and my family, we weren't always good. We were very rocky. And it was a time where I felt like, well, if I don't do this, like, but I was still a waitress, but I did, like, what really pushed me to strip was, okay, what else am I going to do, And just because I was touching that money, once you're in, you're in. So I'm just like, why am I going to go work a 9 to 5 when I know what money I could touch? Yeah, and my family, I mean, they're there when they're there, but honestly, I don't get along with them. No. So, yeah.
So do you think stripping or strippers are like, they're like, maybe because I know that stripping, I've seen the girls, like, they have messed up feet and they work hard, messed up kneecaps.
Me too. I'm like,
you got messed up kneecaps, bruises. Yeah. They look crazy.
Yeah.
After, when it's all like, if you see them in the daytime, like, they look crazy. They really do work. But do you think a lot of girls that try to get into stripping, they don't understand that it is a lot of work, it's draining, and
for instance, me, before I started stripping, I was already going on the pole. I had a pole in my house. I already knew. Like I said, I knew.
Bad.
Yeah.
You're bad. You've been bad for a few years now.
Yeah. No, really, I'm like, I had a pole in my kitchen, so my grandma knew what was up.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I was practicing my pole work, so I kind of already knew what came with it. I was having bruises on my legs already, but until I really hit that stage, that's when you have really bruises, you're doing that floor work. But yeah, I feel like a lot of girls, they see TikTok and they don't know that you have to go on the pole, Some clubs make you audition, some don't. But yeah, like, just even being sleep deprived, getting home late, and I feel like for me, it wasn't too much of an issue because I don't have friends. But for girls who like to go out, your schedule is never going to match with your friends. You're doing late nights, early mornings, So you have to give up your weekends if you want money. And that was like a very not really a big thing for me, but was a change, I would say, because I would just get up and go hang out with my aunt because I could. I was, I have my own schedule. But then I'm like, you know what? I can't make it to your birthday. I got to work, So I think that's a big thing.
Okay, so how do you deal with, like, your mental health? Because you got dudes slapping your booty. You got old guys.
Honestly, when I go to the club, I'm not going to say that I flip that switch, but I kind of do, how I look at it is money, money, money. That's me, That's all I look into. Like, okay, I need this many dances to complete my night, and I'm going to be okay, But honestly, like, when it's slow, you have a time span to kill, And I'm just like, damn. I will sometimes get in my thoughts. I'm like, damn, like, what am I doing here? Or, like, really, But it ends up paying off in the long run, Yeah.
Okay, well, I was a manager, so might you have any questions for me that maybe I can give you some feedback, or I can tell you, just give some advice?
Okay. So I know that extras be going on,
Yes.
how do you, like, so do you look at the girls who do them and don't differently, or no? Because I feel like a lot of people think, like, oh, she has a high head. But I'm like, I just don't do them,
So for me, at my, I worked at the Topless.
Yeah.
We didn't actually, that was like prohibited. So a girl giving the extras, really? they're getting kicked out. So when I first started working there, there was girls giving extras. Like, they'll flash and the guys will be fucking motorboating their boobs and all.
And that's funny that you say that, because to me that's not even considered an extra.
Okay, yeah. But okay, right? So we would have stuff like that happen. Our girls would get finger banging and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So But the owner of the club, he would call me up. He would be watching those cameras.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why he would be watching those cameras all day, 24/7. I don't know what, but he would be watching, and he would call me up. He's like, he would tell me. So if a girl if she got caught doing extras, she would get kicked out. She would get suspended or something like that. But did we look down on the girls? There was this one occasion where a girl was found. Oh, she was cool. Like, she was cool, and she was found doing. I think she was giving a guy some head or whatever. And the one of the other managers pulled her to the side and said, why? What are you doing? you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. And she said, well, I'm doing it because she said she liked the dude. And she didn't do it for an extra. She did it because she really liked the dude. But so we had to let her go.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah, so no, but as far as our opinions on the girls that give it up, yeah, we kind of did we weren't cool with it at all.
So no, I have another question. So honest, happens a lot in my club. The girls, like, obviously, how I compare the strip club is kind of like high school with the girls. You have a bunch of girls. Some are gonna argue, whatever. It's gonna get rowdy eventually, But like, obviously, at our 18 plus, we're not allowed alcohol for the customers. But the girls, we can drink. Don't get too sloppy. But what I see a lot is like the girls getting sloppy, like blackout drunk, where they're like falling asleep. And I'm just like, I know the managers see that on camera, so
Yeah,
like,
no. So check this out. So once again, when I first started working, it was a mess. But when I first started working, there was this one girl who had been working at the club for like 7-8 years. She said, hey, can I bring in my friend? And I was like, yeah, bring her in, because we needed girls. So she brings in this girl. She wasn't that attractive, to be real, but the first night she got drunk. And she's falling over, just acting stupid. And I'm just like, hey, you can't be drinking. Like, I scold her. I didn't send her home. So the second day, comes back, gets drunk again, falling over, humping the customers all on the floor. I'm like, baby, you got to go in the back. So the third night, she comes back. She was doing the same thing, drunk again. And I was new, so I didn't know how to deal with her. But she ended up passing out on the floor.
Oh.
I ended up had to picking her up and put her on the couch. And I left like water bottles in there, and I ended up going back there like towards the end of the night. She threw up all over the floor. There was throw up.
Oh, hell no.
She took a dump, and the dump was like all over the toilet. Yeah, she was a mess. So she got fired. So yeah, I started learning how to regulate that. Like if a girl got too drunk, I'll put them in the back, and I'll give them water, and I'll send their asses home.
Oh yeah, see like at my club. There was a girl on floor, and she's just like over here nodding off, and I'm like, I'm with the customer. Sorry, girl, I can't. I'm like, damn, even my customer, he's like, is she okay? And I'm like, yeah, she's okay, But I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I see that a lot. Like the girls will just get like too drunk.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
And like me personally, I don't drink. I don't do nothing on the job. Yeah, I feel like I couldn't.
For those that don't know, she is a devoted Mormon. He doesn't drink at all. Yeah. But that's good. You don't drink. You gotta stay sober in that environment, because once you get drunk, the customers try to take advantage of you.
No, definitely.
The dancers could steal your bag. They try to steal your money. Yeah. Right. So I'm pretty sure you know what's up.
Yeah, especially the girls. I'm like, oh, they're messy.
Yeah, the girls are messy. So like I said, I had a girl that pooped all over the toilet.
That's crazy.
And I mean,
kudos to you, because I'm like, girl, I would have just.
Hey, girls are nasty. Hey, they would, you know what? In the locker room, they would flood the toilet.
Oh,
they'll leave toilet paper with dookie on it. They'll flood the toilet.
The little periods.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at my club, so we have a bidet.
A bidet.
Oh, okay, on a bidet. Yeah, and girls would just spray themselves, and I'll go in, and I'm like, oh, I almost slipped, and
Damn.
I'm like, girl, like. You can't rinse yourself right, like.
Nah, and they be humming down there. Yeah. It's bad. I know. See, and they'll go out there and go dance on a dude, and the dude would have no idea they just took a big dookie and left it in the toilet. That was like every. That was like every. What was it, like every morning day shift? Worst. I had the worst.
Really?
Yeah, I had the worst. Yeah. I would have I would have a girl that I won't ever forget this. I would have a girl that would come in. And she would bring, instead of tipping me, she'd bring me like fruit, like
nice.
Bananas and apples. And I'm like, what is this, baby? Because I used to tell them, like, well, what is this? That's your tip. I'm like, why would I want that as my tip? But yeah, she would come in, and and yeah, she would make me sandwiches, but peanut butter sandwich.
That's nice.
It was nice, but come on,
Yeah.
like you bringing me a week-old peanut butter sandwich? That's crazy.
Yeah, especially like where them hands been.
Yeah, right. So, do you take care of your manager?
So my manager, so we're required to tip out DJ and just DJ and like the bouncers, but I always leave a $10 tip.
Leave a
you
$10.
know? But honestly, when I feel like this is everywhere though. You gotta really get in the groove of like everybody has to like feel your vibe, you know? Because at first, like my waitresses were rude to me. And I'm like, girl, don't be rude because I'm not going to tip, you know?
Yeah, you want to.
But now, yeah, like I'll tip who helps me.
Yeah.
For the most part, I get along with, well, except for girls. But for my managers and stuff, yeah, I'm really good with my managers.
Good.
I've just had a few problems. Like, honestly, like, since I don't do extras, they are, at least I feel that they are a little biased towards me sometimes, you know?
So the girls that do give extras, they hate on the girls that don't give
Oh,
extras?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
Not, well, no, not. At my club, we have a lot of older girls, older women. So I feel like just in general, the older women don't like us because we're the new up and coming. Yeah. But it's like they've been there for so long, so they have their regulars. But then when that regular looks at you, they're like, oh, like really, you know?
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So you're taking their customers.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Well, shit. I want to know, before we wrap this up, I want to know, what do you recommend young stripper girls to be strippers? Or is that a recommendation?
So I wouldn't see. I have a lot of girls in my DMs on Instagram who always ask me like, "How'd you like? Can you get me in, girl?" And I'm like, "Girl, you wouldn't even want to start." You know, like I honestly don't. Like I said, for me, it really wasn't survival, but it sort of was a little bit. I always knew I wanted to do it, but it's also because I needed to. You know, just because I knew that would be me the most money I could make. You know, to be okay. But I would not recommend it. I mean, if you you could try once, you know, it doesn't hurt to try, but I just feel like it's really glamorized on social media and it isn't what girls expect, you know, like you said, the bruises, the men, like heavy on the men, like you're gonna get disrespected and you can't really curse at them because it's like they're here for you know what I mean? So no, I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, if you want to try it out, you might have a good experience, but within the good, there's more bad. I would definitely say.
So there's more bad than good.
Yeah.
Okay, some people say it's a very dark realm working in the strip club.
See, yeah, I definitely agree because the dancers are not the nicest. Like I have had a lot of like me, I go in there thinking like, okay, I'm going to make my money and go home. You know, I will talk to everybody who talks to me. Like, I'm really nice, but I'm not going to overextend myself because I have before in the past and it just bites me, you know? So I'm just like, I won't, like, I go in and I'll have a girl, hey girl, like, do you want to hang out after? No. Like, sorry, I won't hang out with no girl in the club, you know? We're strictly, I'll see you, we'll say hi, you know? Like, there's girls I vibe with, but at the end, they're out to get you. There is no love in the club, you know? Like, I've even had regulars tell me, like, you know, like, oh, I know that you're cool with so-and-so, but she told me, why am I wasting my time? Like, why am I wasting my time with you? And I'm just like, girl, but I thought we were cool.
So there's a lot of hating in the club.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
A lot of player haters.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever player hate on any of the older girls?
No, because I'm like, dang girl, like make your money. Like I'm cuter than you, but you making more money than me, you know? Yeah, so no, I don't hate, but I just mind my business, honestly. Like, and but for other girls, that's hard to do because, like I said, I feel like a lot of younger girls, they go in there, I want to make friends. I want to, you know, there's no love in the club. There's no love whatsoever. Yeah.
So let that be known. There's no love in the club.
Yeah, no.
All right, and
men wise too, though. Like
men wise too.
Yeah, like I feel like I see it a lot. Like girls will fall in love with somebody, like you said, a cute guy, and I'm like, girl, like, don't do it. Don't do it. It will never end well.
Don't do it, and don't put your back into it because it never ends well, right? Okay, well, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, unless there's something else you want me to address on.
So relationship wise, what do you think about that? Like the girls with, like, you know,
with like customers?
Like, no, not customers. Just like them having a boyfriend and stuff.
Dancers having a boyfriend?
Yeah. Like, do you think, because I definitely think it affects, like, just the club, like, not the club, but, like, affects the girls working, you know, like, girls will be crying or, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think, like, boundaries-wise, you know?
Boundary-wise?
Like, do you think a stripper could have a boyfriend?
And they do have boyfriends, which is crazy. A lot of them have boyfriends, right?
Yeah.
But so I think that question will go to like, do I think strippers could be faithful, maybe, or do I think they can have a healthy
Yeah,
relationship?
there you go. Healthy,
A
yeah.
healthy relationship. So I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real on this one, because I've met tons of strippers. They all have boyfriends, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they go into the strip club, and from the first drink, then they kind of get broken down throughout the night, and they end up, fucking. They might, I won't say hook up with a customer, but they might get a number. They might hang out with a customer after work. Think about it. If you're chilling, okay, say me and you were dating, right? And then you go to the strip club and a guy says, hey, he's throwing a gang of money. Say he threw $1,000 on you, and he says, hey, I got a couple more thousand if you want to come back to my spot. What are you gonna tell him?
Yeah, no, it's pretty simple.
Like he was cool, right? Say he
No,
was cool.
yeah,
He
yeah,
just
I
threw
get you.
1,000 on you, right?
Yeah.
And he's paying for all the drinks. He's buying you drinks, and he's spending a little more. And he's like, "Yo," and he shows you he got this much money. He's like, "Yo, I got another 3,000.
probably go.
If you want to go to my crib and
No,
hang
yeah.
out with me, and I'm gonna spend that on you."
Well, I goes hand in hand though, because personally, me, like a lot of guys, they offer, not those numbers, not really. It's brokies,
You're gonna get those numbers when
Yeah.
you start doing the top list.
Yeah,
You're
that's
gonna
true.
see it. You're gonna see
okay,
it.
yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I don't know. I just don't believe. I'm a little too scared for that though. Like, I don't believe in going home at all. Like, I'll have guys tell me like, "Oh, want to go get breakfast?" No, why?
Yeah. Okay.
But I get you, because I've met like some cool people where I'm like, I will go get breakfast with you. So yeah.
So basically, dating a girl who's a stripper, she's gonna get offered eventually a certain amount of money, and she might meet a regular that's cool as hell,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then
For me, I don't really think. Well, like for the relationship wise, I don't really think it's that in that aspect though of them just like going home. I think it's more like I don't think guys will ever understand what we go through, or like exactly how you said what we're offered.
shit, I understand. I mean, like I said, if I was dating a stripper, I would let her do her thing. She could do her thing because I'm gonna do my thing.
I feel like relationships, normal boundaries that people have for a regular relationship, not a stripper, go and when they're dating a stripper, out the window.
Out the
Like
window?
they follow OnlyFans girl. Like that's what I see a lot in the club, and I'm like, even like I haven't really tried a relationship dancing. I had before though, and it was like he would follow OnlyFans girls, and I'm like, okay, so subscribe to mine.
So you have an
Or I
OnlyFans?
yeah, I do have OnlyFans.
Okay, you want to plug your
Yes.
OnlyFans?
Yes, it's You Crave Audie.
You crave Audi. So do you think all men,
All
so-
men are cheaters.
all men are
Period,
cheaters?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, for girls, here's the thing. Girls, I don't think like all girls are cheaters, but like if we're offered like money wise, yeah. Well, personally, 'cause
women
I
are
think
gold
of money.
diggers, is what you're
Yes,
saying.
yes.
Women are
but,
gold diggers?
Like men,
Oh,
like
dang.
okay, at least like girls, like they're gonna choose the finer man. Like men, they're gonna choose the little donkey looking girl.
So you're saying
You know,
Hold on. You're saying girls are gonna choose what?
The money. Like
Oh, you go for the money.
Yeah, gold digger for sure.
Yeah.
But like men, like bleep is bleep, if you know what I mean. The saying, So girls are girls, and men. That's how men see it. Like girls are girls,
So you don't think?
and I don't think like
So girls don't go for dudes with good personality?
Yes, but if he got money, if he's ugly and he got money, sometimes you gotta go with the one who has the dough.
Damn.
So I just feel like men don't like a guy is not gonna be like, oh, she's prettier, I'm gonna just stick with her. If someone's giving it up, he's gonna go to the one who's giving it up.
Oh, so you're saying us men, we settle for low?
Oh hell yeah.
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 I think maybe men that go to strip clubs are the ones that that settle for the low.
So what do you think? So okay, now the relationship thing again. What about going to a strip club in a relationship? What do you think about that?
I think that's cool. I mean, I've actually went to a strip club with an ex before.
Do you think it will work, or you think it just causes more problems?
Like going as a couple.
As a
Going-
couple, yeah.
I think it's dope. I think you know what? Some couples should go just for the fun of it. Like it should be it should be like a fun. It should be something to spice it up. Like once my girl was telling me, she was like, "Yo, let's go because I get a lap dance, everything. We go back to the room or whatever, go back to the house, and I go do my thing with her." And I said, "You know what? I think that'd be dope."
Mm-hmm.
So I think I recommend couples to go to strip clubs.
Yeah, personally, me, I'm all for it too. Like, I'm like, I actually just will not. I support strippers. Obviously, I'm a stripper. But yeah, I feel like like I always tell my aunt. See, my aunt, she's different though. She's like, hell nah, he's not going. And I'm like, girl, that's why he be going on the low. No.
Yeah, see, and
But I don't know. Like, I don't really think it will cause too many problems. But then again, I do. Like I said, men are dogs. So I feel like I could see them getting a little too happy. Like I've been. I had just recently went to the strip club and I was by myself and I was with some friends. There were a couple. He was getting a little too happy. And if you're a dancer, when they go to the restroom, what's going on. You know what's going on.
Doing a little Coca Loco.
Yeah, okay,
right
you know what's going on. And homegirl was just like mad, and I'm like, oh girl, like I could just see the excitement for specific girls, and I'm just like, oh, like, I feel like it's cool to have fun. Guys are gonna, they're gonna like a girl, obviously, but I'm just like, some guys just take it a little too far.
So do you think all men are dogs?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about girls?
No. I'm sitting right here.
Hey, but you get money to do things. That's like kind of so. Like, say I was dating you, right? And a guy said, "Okay, I got 10,000. What can you do for me? What are you gonna do?"
No, I'm not gonna fold like that. I'm not
gonna fold. But you said every girl has a price.
True. Yeah, that's definitely true. But if you're in love, then I do. But see, men, I feel like not for men. Girls are more emotional. Yeah. Like a girl could go. See, this is how I think. Like a girl, if she goes sleeps with, so she's in a relationship, she goes and cheats, right? Low key, eventually, not all the time, but more so, she's gonna end up falling for that other guy because we're emotional, Versus if a guy goes out and cheats, a girl's a girl. She was just a little side thing, But I feel like girls, they get more attached, so they're definitely like, if a girl's cheating, she's gonna eventually be with that guy.
What makes a girl cheat?
I feel like it depends. Well, I don't know. Every relationship is different. Everybody has problems, but I feel like the nitpicking, probably, or just like, I don't know.
The nitpicking on the nitpicking on a guy or a girl? What do you mean?
No, like, like, I'm like, I don't want to throw someone's business out here. I'm sorry to my aunt if you're watching, but like, for instance, my aunt and her dude, like, he's always accusing her of cheating.
Oh,
so that's gonna eventually, you hearing all that? Eventually, like, someone's gonna be like, I might actually go cheat because you saying I'm a cheater anyways, Well,
yeah. I think if a girl was nitpicking me or on me, it's gonna push me away.
Like I said, yeah, definitely. But like, if you're in love with, my opinion, if you're in love with someone for real, you're not gonna cheat like that, But men, they fold quicker than girls for sure.
Okay, well,
I think so.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, shit. I mean, we had a cool conversation. Is there anything you want maybe any of the fellow dancers to know, or are you pretty much good?
Okay, I have top 3 that I would say. No love in the club, like, no love in the club, and that goes not just for, like, I'm talking like falling in love with customers, like, making friends. Don't make friends in the club. It just will never work out. And don't, like, another thing too, like, if you don't want to do extras, I feel like a lot of girls get like pressured into doing them, like, because they see all the other girls. You will make your money doing no extras, of it. You just got to find the right place, your place, not everybody is gonna do good in one club. That's why you got to club hop, but like for the baby strippers, since I am one too, don't go into the club thinking like, dang, like I'm gonna have to do them, like a lot of, like, for instance, just the last weekend I had ran into a baby stripper and we were talking and she let her boundaries slide, and I told her, like, you really got to have your guard up because if you don't, the customer's going to take advantage. The customer ended up really taking advantage, and I'm like, girl, he knows, like, I just would say, like, you got to be rude. Like, the tricks, I call them tricks, like, the tricks are tricks and they're a trick for a reason. So if you don't trick them, they're going to out trick you. That's what I would say.
So a trick, that's the lingo.
Yeah, I call them tricks. Yeah.
Call them tricks. Nah, it's all good. All right, well, I want to thank you for coming through.
No, yeah, thank
stopping
you.
by. You know what I mean? Hopefully we touched on everything.
Yeah, it was long overdue. I'm like, I was waiting to
Yeah,
meet
yeah,
you.
yeah. And I appreciate you for your support on social media. So what's your advice to tricks?
To tricks. Advice to tricks?
To trick? All right, you just keep tricking.
Hey, it ain't tricking if you got it. Okay?
Oh yeah, it ain't tricking if you got it.
You got it. Don't
you got
be
the
afraid
money,
to
you
spend.
could do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and you guys trick out for the money anyway. So so you guys are both tricking. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming through. Any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I'm like, shout out to me. I'm doing it out here, okay?
Okay, shout out to her. She's making her money.
Yeah.
And
or no, I do have one. I'm like, shout out to my aunt. Like, throughout me, my stripper journey, she's the one who's like really been by my side for real. You know, like she doesn't get it whatsoever, but she's still like, you know, she got love for me, so she shows her, you know. But she's like, I would never, you know. But that's a stigma. But yeah, shout out to her.
Well, shout out to her tia over there. Making tortillas, drinking cerveza. All right, well, shout out to her. Don't be jealous, girl. She's over there jealous, right? You said she's kind of jealous?
Not jealous.
Oh, her dude is jealous.
Oh, yeah. Not her. No, she's not jealous, but she just don't get it. But I'm just
Okay.
like, you know,
right.
I wish I could bring her in the club with me, but she just
Okay. Got it. All right, well, thank you. You Crave Adi.
Yes.
So, yeah, you can find You Crave Adi. She has a OnlyFans and all that other good stuff. We're going to put that on the links below somewhere around here. And, and it is your boy Invincible. Stay tuned for our next episode. And I want to thank you again for coming through. Yeah, and we are out.
Shout out to the Gentlemenclubdiary. I want to thank him for inviting me on the show. I had reached out to him, and ever since we've been connecting, it's just I could feel the vibe, you know. And I let him know before even coming on here, like just his vibe is real good. So I just want to give a shout out to him and appreciate for him for having me on the show.